Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ink Spotlights from Comix Wellspring. This is the series where we shine the spotlight on immensely talented creators who print with us. And today we're joined by guest Joe Ellis. And we're here to talk about Trifecta and so much more, a bit more on his journey. So welcome, Joe. Thank you so much for coming today's spotlight. How have you been?
I've been great, and thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on this show, and I am happy and excited to talk about Trifecta.
Yeah, tell us about the book. You're a few issues into it already, and it's quite a phenomenal series. You worked really hard on this. Tell the audience a little bit about Trifecta.
Yeah, my how time flies because it feels like I just started this book, but it's actually been about 3 or 4 years now when I actually started it. And it really started first from my love of comic books. I've been a comic book fan since I can remember. Started off with The Amazing Spider-Man, huge Spider-Man fan. And then right around the time where that first Batman movie came out with Michael Keaton, I switched over to Batman and I became a huge Batman fan. And from there, I've just started exploring everything from back in the day. So it comes from that and also from my love of action, adventure, fantasy, treasure hunting, um, IP and movies like Indiana Jones, The Mummy, even the recent one I liked, Red Notice. And also, of course, the video games, the Uncharted and the Tomb Raiders, love Lara Croft and basically, I took that genre and I thought, what would happen if Indiana Jones actually had a little bit of technology? Instead of being in the past, what if he was kind of in a comic book world, not with superheroes, but just a comic book world where people do have powers and maybe he has access to technology and access to maybe mystical things. So that's kind of where I've taken that genre. I mixed it with a little bit of superhero or comic book, and then I mixed in a little bit of espionage because I'm a huge James Bond fan. So I threw that in and I just mixed it all up and just came up with Trifecta. And it's been great so far. We're on issue 3, which is coming out in October. And I'm very excited about this series. It's going to be six issues in total. And I'm hoping that we just continue with the success and we continue with the momentum. And I want everyone to read it. And I want everyone to be excited about it because I know I am.
No, all of this makes sense now. Like hearing you list all these things, and it's all the stuff that I love as well. And I was like, no wonder I enjoyed this book so much when I was going through it. Like all of these elements really do shine, and I see what your approach with it. So that's insanely exciting to hear. We're going to talk so much more about Trifecta and what you do in our long form interview with you on Inspired Ink. So I encourage all of our listeners to not only check out these segments, but go and find these long form interviews where we really get to deep dive and we'll get to know Joe a whole lot more. Your book is dropping here in October 2024. Are you running a Kickstarter? How are you going to be promoting it? Where can people access this book?
Well, luckily for me, the Kickstarter was a success. So that actually gave me the money and the funds I needed for issue number 3. Because I mean, and probably everyone listening knows who creates comic books. It can be quite expensive. So thank you to everyone that did contribute to my Kickstarter. But it's coming out this October. It's going to be on Amazon. It's going to be on CWS Bookstore, Comix One. Also, there's a graphic novel coming out, which will be the first 3 issues put together,
Ooh.
just in case you want to catch up. That's going to be also those same platforms, but also on Kindle. If you got a Kindle, or also on Barnes and Noble as well.
Dude, great resources. It's accessible for everyone. There is no excuse not to be getting a hold of a copy of one of these books.
That's what I'm saying. There's no excuse.
Yeah, you have a widespread, and I can't wait for us to talk more about like how it's distributed and everything you've been doing. Joe, thank you so much for being on Spotlights. It's awesome getting to know about you a little bit and knowing about your series. I hope you everyone in the audience is hyped and excited and goes and checks it out. Check out the links below so you can see Joe's work, and check out our long form interview where you can learn so much more about Trifecta and his process in general. So Joe, thank you so much for hanging out today.
Hey, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the book.